Okay, so could you state your full name, please?
My name is David Andrew Frederick.
And what other names do you go by?
Dad,
Okay, so Dad, when were you born?
I was born in October 21st, 1957.
Okay, and do you consider yourself a part of the baby boomer generation, the silent generation, or the GI generation?
Definitely baby boomer.
Baby boomer?
Yes.
Okay, and can you tell me like where you were born, like what city you were born in, or like if you were born in a hospital or not?
Okay. Well, that's easy. I was born in Kenansville, North Carolina, in a country house,
Hmm.
and no doctors, of course. And the reason for that is I was born in a time of segregation,
Hmm.
and people of color, commonly called colored, we had no funds or access to a hospital.
Hmm.
Not in Duplin County, Kenansville, North Carolina.
Hmm. And can you tell me a little bit about your earliest memory? Like how old were you when this happened?
Okay, that takes me back. But my earliest memory was, I think, 5, waiting to be 6 so I could start kindergarten.
Hmm.
Well, unbeknownst to me, that people of color, colored people, weren't allowed to go to kindergarten.
Hmm.
You had to wait till first grade. And the second reason was my birthday was in October. School started in August, so that's the second reason I had to start late. Not only could I not go to first kindergarten,
Hmm.
I had to wait an extra year to start first grade.
How did that make you feel?
I just felt really sad because all of my friends and cousins and people were going to first grade.
Hmm.
None of us went to kindergarten,
Yeah.
but they all went to first grade on time, and I had to wait
Hmm. And that made you feel a little down,
a lot down.
a lot down. Can you tell me about your childhood, like what school was like, your friends, like things you did like for fun?
Okay, well, when I finally started school, first grade was it was interesting because country kid, country school, segregated community.
Hmm.
School was a new thing, but I made friends. I can't remember all the names now, but I had a few friends and I had cousins that went to the school.
Hmm.
And the thing that it was most comfortable to me is everyone looked like me.
Hmm. And you like that
I like that.
about school?
Hmm.
Okay, what'd you do for fun?
Fun. Oh, country kids, we did fun things like play outside, like 99% of the time, play outside.
Hmm.
Something.
Like
Make
any type of game?
just make up games, tag, racing, wrestling, cowboys and bandits.
Can you tell me a little bit about your teen years, like your adolescence? Like, what was school like? Your friends? Did you have a first crush? Were you involved in anything in school?
Okay. Well, teen years. By then, I'd moved to New York, Yonkers, New York, to be exact.
Hmm.
And I was a pretty involved kid. I learned music early,
Hmm.
and I was a co-captain of the band in junior high school, all the way to high school. I played basketball, very good at it, by the way. And I had a couple of friends. I won't name them in this video, but I had a couple of friends, and you know, close friends from church,
Hmm.
and crush. Actually, I don't recall a crush.
You don't recall
I don't recall a crush at all.
one? All
You
right.
know, I was just a bookworm church boy.
Too busy focusing on school.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what was your family life like during your childhood? Like, what was your parents like? What were your siblings like? How were you living?
Well, the early years, my family life was good. It was mother, two brothers, and my sister. You know, humble Southern colored upbringing, and then
Mm-hmm.
about 9 years old, I moved to New York, Yonkers, New York,
Mm-hmm.
and things got very different. I started meeting people of all different types, all races, and there was more things to do. Not only church. We went. I found out what movies was. I never knew what a movie theater was. I went to movies. We went to plays, museum. I had no idea what that was. So pretty good.
Just
Pretty
learning
good home,
a
yeah,
lot of
good
different
home
things.
life. We used to. Me and my aunts used to sing and dance in the kitchen while I did homework. Love that.
That sounds pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay, so during that time, what are like some big world events, like social events that happened like during your childhood and adolescence?
Well, the one that sticks out the most to me was I was a young teenager, maybe 13 or 14 ish. It was such a thrill because we was right in the middle of the coming at tail end of the civil rights movement, and it was so cool to be called black
Mhm.
because with the movement gaining momentum and growing, it all of a sudden became cool to be black.
Mhm.
And then, of course, James Brown, one of my favorite singers, came out with a song called "I'm Black and I'm Proud,"
Mhm.
and that did it. From that day on, proud to be black. We should have been the whole time, but we had a reason.
Mhm.
Now we had the movement going and the songs coming out by people that look like me.
Mhm. And that made you feel
Oh
good.
yeah,
Made you
yeah.
feel like
That we could do something other than work in the fields.
right. So did that influence like how you thought or like your relationships with other people at all?
Yes, it did, because I was determined when it comes to other people, no matter what they look like, what country they from, whatever, that I was never going to treat them or look at them the way I had been treated growing up. You know,
Mhm.
I was going to get everyone a fair chance.
That's good.
I'm not going to say I was going to go around loving everybody. I was
Mhm.
just going to treat people the way I wanted to be treated.
Mhm. It's a very progressive attitude. Okay, so could you tell me a little bit about your life between the ages of 18 and 25? In class, we're learning about it and it's called emerging adulthood.
Mhm.
So could you tell me like any choices like about college, military, family, and yeah, just tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, between 18 and 25, those were some very important years to me
Mhm.
because I'd already, I was already in college and high school and working at the same time
Mhm.
because I was accelerating junior, so I was allowed, to go to college. And I had big plans to be something more than what I had been seeing around me.
And what were you seeing
And
around you? Like what have you seen?
what I was seeing was drugs,
Mhm.
prostitution,
Mhm.
uh, robbery, all kinds of crimes, you name it. And like I said, just people of color, even in New York, wasn't being treated fairly.
Mhm.
So my thing is, I wanted to be something where I could influence a lot of people. And I felt like going to college, I could do that.
Mhm.
But my first choice, my dear to my heart, was military.
Military. What branch?
Oh, Marine Corps. There's no other branch. um, I wanted to be the toughest of the toughest,
Mhm.
and because Marines had to fight for the right to be in Marines, because they were
Mhm.
in the Army, Navy, and all them other services, but they were not allowed in the Marine Corps
Mhm.
until very late, and so that's another reason I wanted to be in there.
Mhm.
I wanted to be part of that, and and I did really well. I advanced through the ranks really fast, and then of course. I started thinking beyond just me. I started thinking about uh, girlfriend
Okay.
and possibly wife.
So, when you were in the military, did you fight in a war? If so, which one?
Well, I'll just go on record as saying this because I held a top secret level presidential clearance. So
Mhm.
uh, the best answer that I can say on that is I was blessed to live through 3 wars
Mhm.
and one major conflict. And here I am today to tell the story.
Well, alrighty. So, could you tell me possibly like when did you know that you were an adult? Like, explain that to me.
Oh, that's easy. Um, I was coming up on about 22, 23,
Mhm.
and I was my relationship with my girlfriend was progressing along,
Mhm.
and when I decided to ask her mother to marry her, that's when I knew I was a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was putting someone else before me, promising someone's parent that I would take care of them for the rest of my life, the best that I could.
Wow.
So to me, that's a man. You born a male, that doesn't make you a man. Assuming your responsibilities, your role in this world, to set the example for every male or woman, female, that you come in contact with. And that's what I feel like. I have to live my life so people see what a man looks like.
So that's what made you realize you're an adult?
Yes. When I was thinking all of that even back then.
Wow.
I wanted to be the one to set that example.
So early adulthood, so that's like the time of establishing your career, finding a mate, and starting a family, and like getting your independence. So what was that time like for you?
That was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pursuing possible wife, and then when the wife is accepted, now you have a wife, and now it's like, all right, let's roll. And we were just planning our lives together on places we wanted to go, things we wanted to do, planning how we were going to accomplish certain things, like buying the house, buying
Mm-hmm.
the vehicle for each of us, and saving money for possibly children.
So this was like an exciting time
Oh,
in your
yeah,
life?
thrilling time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because I had someone else to share that felt the same way I did about that.
That's good. So so my personal opinion, middle adulthood, I described it as like getting stable in your career and like building that foundation, just maintaining it. So what was your middle adulthood like, and if do you agree with what I was saying?
I agree with exactly what you said, and it's easy for me because now I had a partner and we could sit down, plan, and talk together about where we were going and what we would look like financially, emotionally, everything 10 years from the day that we sat down and start talking. And then it just went on from there.
So around this time, were you like planning a family?
We were talking a lot about it and putting money aside in preparation for if we did start a family. But we didn't start a family right away,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but we had to plan.
Mm-hmm. And when you started a family, how was that for you?
Oh,
How'd you feel?
We both was over the moon over that, especially me, because my thing is I always wanted children, but I always wanted a daughter. I said, if we have more than one child, I want a daughter first.
Mm-hmm.
And God gave me my daughter.
And you're happy about the whole thing?
I'm happy about the whole thing.
I sure hope so. Okay, so in my opinion, later adulthood, so like this is a time where you're like retiring from your job, you get to kind of like reflect on your life and like kick back and enjoy the fresh air. So if you agree, let me know. And how would you describe this stage of your life now?
I agree with what you just said. And this stage of my life it's the diamond at the top of the peak. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I had my lovely wife to support me all the years, and I did military for 25, federal service for another 15. So over 40 years of work, and now that I'm retired, it feels good because my wife, the 42 years coming up, we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, like travel, go out on the town.
We can travel, and I run and joke because we always tell you, my daughter, that when you get home, there'll be a note saying we're in France.
Ha ha ha!
Don't call.
So funny, so funny. So, what are you most proud of having done or been a part of, like during your life?
Well, there's so many.
You can say more than one thing.
One of the things I'm most proud of that was I was able to see through and follow through with being a dad. Always wanted to be a dad, and I wanted to be in my child's life every day of the child's life, which to this point I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I accomplished that. I feel like I broke the cycle of no dad in the home because my wife had no dad in the home, I had no dad in the home. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of. And the second thing that I'm most proud of is I became a Marine, the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And to sum it all up, I became a husband because my lovely wife said yes. So, husband, Marine, dad.
You know what they say about Marines? No greater friend, no worse enemy.
That's it.
So, if you could go back and like change one thing about your life, what would it be? If it's anything at all?
Well, I probably would buckle down and finish college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though the military was my first thing and I did really great at it,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think if I could do one thing differently, I would go to college and finish.
Did you have like a determined major, or were you just like trying out the courses?
Actually, I had settled in psychology.
Oh, that was your major, psychology.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted to be a counselor, mentor type
Mm-hmm.
individual, you know. And no, they don't make a whole lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I wanted to do.
Well.
But I ended up doing that in the military, mentoring young Marines.
Mm-hmm. So you're able to still pursue that dream in
Yeah.
a different route.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what advice do you have for me and other people my age? I'm 19 right now, so I'm in the stage of like emerging adulthood.
Well, you set a goal, whatever that is in life, and you start one step at a time building toward that. And if you stumble, you don't give up. You just keep plugging at it.
Mm-hmm. So just keep trying.
And you don't have to always learn by mistakes. You can also learn from watching others around you, and
Mm-hmm.
always surround you with people that want to go somewhere, want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the jokes, me and the brothers, when we have breakfast together, we talk about is I never want to be the smartest person in the room, because if I am, I need to find another room.
That's insightful, though. That's insightful.
So that's my advice right there. You know, you got to start building, and you continue to build no matter what.
Well, that is the end of the interview. Thank you so much for participating.
Well, thank you, daughter.
All right. Thank you. Put it there. All righty.